One of the biggest mistakes entrepreneurs make is trying to grow their business without actually knowing what is working and what is not. The foundation of any successful business is built on the fundamentals we often overlook: optimized offers, strategic pricing, and strong positioning. Before you scale, before you raise your prices, before you launch another offer, you have to take inventory. Hi, I'm Antionette, your MBA trained sales and revenue coach who turned an unexpected layoff into multiple streams of income in a business that doesn't rely on one way to get paid. What felt devastating at the time became the catalyst for something better. Today, I'm going to walk you through how to audit your business so you can identify your strongest opportunities for growth. The very first thing you want to do when trying to figure out how to grow and scale your business is evaluate what is working and what is not working. A lot of entrepreneurs skip this step, but it's the most important. They jump straight into the marketing strategies, new offers, or new funnels when they haven't taken the time to really understand the current performance of their business. One of the easiest ways to identify what is working and what isn't is to conduct a simple SWOT analysis. A SWOT analysis helps you clarify your competitive positioning in the marketplace by getting to the root of what may be preventing your business from growing. When you're conducting a SWOT analysis, there are 4 key areas of your business you want to pay attention to: your sales strategy, your marketing strategy, your operating systems, and your positioning in the marketplace. The goal here is to understand where the gaps are in your business. You want to ask yourself questions like, what are people saying about my company when I'm not in the room? How does my business truly stack up against my competitors in my industry? You also want to identify opportunities that may be hiding in plain sight. Sometimes the growth opportunity isn't a brand new idea, it's something you're already doing that simply needs to be refined, optimized, or positioned differently. Another important question to ask yourself is how your current offers stack up against what's already available in the marketplace. Ultimately, a SWOT analysis is the first step in understanding what's actually happening inside of your business. The way I like to think about a SWOT analysis is that it's really a form of internal market research. You're collecting information about your business so you can make better decisions moving forward. There are a few things you're trying to really understand during this stage. First, you want to understand what your customers actually need. Second, you want to make sure you're capturing data on a consistent basis. And I cannot stress this enough, because when you have data, you're able to make smarter business decisions about what to improve, what to keep, and what to eliminate. This process helps you build a stronger foundation for growth, and it also gives you the insight you need to continue improving your business over time. Now, the next thing you want to do is evaluate your offers. One of the exercises that I like to walk my clients through, and something we also do inside of my membership, is reviewing your profit and loss statement at the end of the year. Your P&L tells a story about your business. It shows you where money may be leaking in your business, and it also shows you which offers are actually driving revenue. From there, you want to take a deeper look and really understand which offers may need to be eliminated and which offers may need to be optimized even further. When you do this exercise, you'll start to clearly see which offers are driving the most growth and which ones are not performing as well. Now, here's something that you really want to keep in mind. Sometimes we assume that an offer isn't performing well when the reality is we simply haven't promoted the offer enough. A lot of business owners spend a tremendous amount of time marketing their business, but they don't spend enough time actually selling their offers. So before you eliminate an offer or rush to create a new one, I want you to ask yourself an important question. Have I truly put in the work to promote this offer? Do people actually know that this offer exists? For example, when I evaluate my own business at the end of the year, and I'm reviewing my profit and loss statement, if I notice that one offer outperformed the other, the first question I ask myself is whether I actually promoted that offer enough. Before I go through the process of removing an offer, updating my website, and making changes across my platforms, I typically give that offer a real opportunity to perform. That means promoting it consistently for at least 6 to 12 months across my platforms, whether that's social media, my YouTube channel, or other marketing channels that I use in my business. But even beyond promotion, there are a few things that I take into consideration before deciding whether an offer should stay or go. The second thing I look at is whether I actually have a strong sales funnel in place to drive awareness around the offer and clearly communicate how that offer supports my potential client. Because if people don't know the offer exists, or even if they don't fully understand how it solves their problem, then the issue may not be the offer itself, it may be the system that's responsible for selling the offer. The third thing I think about is the customer journey. How are people discovering the offer? What happens after they discover it? And is the path from awareness to purchase actually clear? These are important questions to ask when you're auditing your offers, because a lot of times we automatically assume that if something isn't selling, we should immediately eliminate it. But that's not always the case. There's a lot that goes into creating a strong offer. And after the offer is created, there's even more that goes into marketing it, selling it, and attracting the right prospects, and ultimately converting them into clients. So before you remove an offer from your business, you really want to do the work to understand why it isn't selling. Now, sometimes as a CEO, you may not have the time to do this type of analysis yourself. And this is often where it makes sense to outsource this type of work to someone who can take a deeper look into what's happening inside of your business. Ideally, that allows you to stay focused on leading and growing the business while still staying aware of what is actually happening behind the scenes. And one final thing I'd like to add here. I don't believe you should only be reviewing your profit and loss statement only at the end of the year. In my opinion, you should be looking at your profit and loss statement on a quarterly basis. When you're reviewing your numbers consistently, it allows you to make small adjustments to your offers and your business throughout the year instead of waiting until the end of the year to make major changes. By doing that, I'm able to gather real data that supports my decisions to either keep the offer, optimize it, or eventually remove it from my offer stack, okay? Now, last but not least, the thing you should be doing all the time is evaluating your messaging. Messaging is the bridge between your offers and your audience. If your messaging doesn't meet the needs of your audience, all of the work you've done on your offers and promotions won't translate into sales. When it comes to marketing, we often spend so much time highlighting the features of an offer versus speaking to the benefits. But the benefits, the way your offer actually impacts your ideal client's life, is what resonates. You want to make sure that as you're auditing your business, your messaging is aligned with where your prospects are in their buying journey. Study your ideal client long enough to understand their language, what they need, how they think, and how they speak. Then tweak your messaging so it speaks directly to them. A mistake I see early stage entrepreneurs make, especially when trying to scale, is focusing more on how can I get a new client instead of how can I communicate in a way that meets my ideal client where they are now. When you nail this, your offers have a much better chance of performing because the right people are not only aware of your offer, they're ready to take action. When you nail this, your offers have a much better chance of performing because the right people are not only aware of your offer, they're ready to take action. So when it comes to evaluating your business performance, remember, review your P&L consistently, audit your offers, carefully assess your funnels and customer journey, and most importantly, align your messaging with the needs of your audience. When you take the time to audit your business, you gain the clarity and insights you need to stop guessing and start making strategic decisions. In the next episode, we're going to talk about something every business owner should understand deeply: your money. How much profit you're actually making and how much revenue you're leaving on the table.